So this is Circus Class 9 introductory part. Here we are going to talk about circles. So first of all we will define what is a circle. Here you can see that I have taken a fixed point O and other points A, B, C, D, E and so on, okay, such that whenever I am joining these points with the fixed point O, then the distance is constant. It is always same. That is OA is equal to OB is equal to OC is equal to OD is equal to OE. Okay, and when you join these points, then the shape so formed is called as a circle. So this represents a circle, and this fixed point is called as the center of the circle, which is represented by letter O. Okay, and it should be capital. Okay, and the distance between the point on the circle and the fixed point is called as radius of the circle. Okay, and the plural form of radius is called as radii. And how a circle is denoted or represented? It is denoted by capital C with brackets, and inside the bracket you have capital O, comma, and then you have small r, which is representing the radius of the circle. Okay, this is how you represent the circle in the form of notation. Okay, next we talk about what is a chord of the circle. So, what is chord? Whenever you join any 2 points which are present on the circle, okay? On the circle means on the circumference of the circle. And what is circumference of the circle? The length of the circle, or you can say the perimeter of the circle, is called as circumference of the circle. It is denoted by capital C, and it is having the formula 2 pi r. Okay, so C is the circumference, which is the entire length of the circle. Okay, and its formula is 2 pi r. Pi you already know. Either you can write 22/7 or 3.14 depending upon the question, and r is the radius of the circle. Okay, this will give you the length of the circle. Okay, so if you join any 2 points on the circumference of the circle, here I have taken point A, which is lying on the circumference, B is also lying on the circumference of the circle, and I am joining these 2 points. So the line segment which is formed by joining A and B forms a chord of the circle. So here chord is AB. Chord is AB. Okay. Now, what is diameter of the circle? So here again you can see that I have 2 points A and B which are lying on the circumference of the circle. And if I join these 2 points, then you can see here the difference here is with respect to this one. This is also forming a chord of the circle, but this time it is passing through the center of the circle. This time it is passing through the center of the circle. That is why it is called as diameter of the circle. Here you can see that this is also the chord of the circle, but it is not passing through the center of the circle. Okay, but if you take 2 points on the circle and join them such that they are passing through the center of the circle, then it is called as diameter of the circle, and that diameter is equal to 2 times of radius. Okay, and you can also say that diameter is the longest chord. It is the longest chord of the circle. Okay, now when these 2 points A and B are the ends of the diameter, then this diameter divides the circle into 2 halves. Okay, and each of the halves of the circle is called as semicircle. So this is also a semicircle, this part. This part and this part is also a semicircle, and both are equal in area. Okay, so it is also a semicircle. So always remember, diameter divides the circle into two equal halves. Okay, and each of the half is called as semicircle. This is also semicircle, this is also semicircle. Okay, so a diameter gives two semicircles. Okay, next we come to the next diagram. What is it? You can see here that I have taken 2 points P and Q on the circle, and these 2 points P and Q has divided the circle into two portions. Okay, one is PSQ, the other one is PRQ. This looks smaller than this one, right? So this smaller portion of the circle is called as minor arc. So here PSQ is the minor arc. Okay, and this bigger portion PRQ is called as major arc. PRQ is called as major arc. Okay, so have you understood the meaning of arc? Okay, just take any 2 points on the circle, and the smaller one is always the minor one and the bigger one is always the major one. Okay, and this smaller portion is called as minor arc and the bigger portion is called as major arc. That's it. Okay, next we come to another diagram. Here you can see that again you have minor arc and major arc. What is minor arc here? PSQ, this is smaller one. Okay, these 2 points, and this is minor arc PSQ, and this one is major arc. Okay, now what I have done here, these 2 points I have joined to the center. Okay, OP and OQ are the line segments that have been formed by joining O and P and O and Q. Okay, now the region between these two and this minor arc, okay, forms a minor sector. Okay, and what are these two line segments? These are radius. These are radius, or you can say that they are radii of the circle. So the region formed between the two radii and minor arc of the circle is called as minor sector. So how will you represent it? This region, it will start from here, O, then P, then S, then Q, then O. It is coming like this. So it is O, P, S, Q, and then O. This will give minor sector. Next, the region here, you can see, if you cover this region, what will you get? You will get the bigger portion, right, along with the radii of the circle. So the region formed between the two radii and the major arc of the circle is called as major sector. So how will you represent it? It will be represented as O, P, R, Q and O. So it will be O, P, R, Q, O. This will give you major sector. So can you define a sector now? So sector is nothing but the region between two radii and any arc of the circle. That is called as sector. And if the arc is minor, then the region is minor sector, and if the arc is major, then the sector formed is major sector. Okay, next we come to the other diagram, which is a circle again. And what is here? Here you have a chord AB. Here you have a chord AB, and it is dividing the circle into two regions, right? Now you can see here this region, okay, has a smaller portion of the circle. So we can say that this APB is a minor arc and this is a chord AB. So if I consider this region, then it is formed by the chord of the circle AB and the minor arc APB, and hence it is called as minor segment. It is called as minor segment. So how will you denote it? It will be denoted by A, P, B and A. AP, BA is the minor segment. Okay, and here if you hide this portion, what will you get? Whenever you hide this, you will get this one. Okay, this is what this region is formed by the chord AB, and this is the bigger portion of the circle, that is major arc. So the region formed by the chord AB and the major arc of the circle is called as major segment. And how will you denote it? A, Q, B, A. It is coming like this: A, Q, B, A. This region is in this particular, it is denoted by this particular notation: A, Q, B, A. Okay, so this is major segment, right? So the basic definition of segment is what? The region between the chord and the arc of the circle is called as segment. And if that particular arc is minor, then the region formed is minor segment. And if the arc is major, then the segment formed is major segment. Okay. Next is, again there is a circle and this is a line. This is a line. Why it is a line? Because it is extending in both the direction. It has no end points. Okay, so it is a line, suppose L, and it is intersecting the circle at two different points, okay, or two distinct points. Let it be TQ. Okay, then this type of line is called as secant of the circle. Okay, so the line which intersect the circle in two different points, that is T and Q, okay, then it is called as secant of the circle. So here TQ is the secant of the circle. Okay, next is, you can see here, this is a line, suppose M. Okay, this is M, and it is intersecting the circle at only one point. It is intersecting the circle at only one point. Then this is called as tangent of the circle. It is called as tangent of the circle. And the point at which it intersects the circle is called as point of contact. So it is called as, so P is called as point of contact. Okay, next is what? Next is, you have to understand that how will you identify whether any point is lying inside the circle or outside the circle. For this you have three conditions. Condition number 1, condition number 2, and condition number 3. Okay, for this what will you do? Just take any point P, okay, and join them from the center. Okay, so I have joined it. Now can you see here the length of this point P, which is inside the circle, its length is less than the radius of the circle. Okay, so we can say that this point P is lying inside the circle. Okay, if the length of OP is less than the radius of the circle, then it lies inside the circle. Okay, now take the second condition. Here you have point P on the circle, on the circumference of the circle. So if you join the center to the point P, again it will be radius. So here this time OP will be equal to radius of the circle. So in this case we can say that P lies on the circle. The point P lies on the circle, right? Now here if I take any point outside the circle, we find that if I join this point with the center of the circle, that is O, then the length of OP is greater than the radius of the circle. In this case, we can say that P lies outside the circle. The point P lies outside the circle. Okay. Now, you can also ask me that, ma'am, can we have one chord or can we have infinite number of chords? You can have infinite number of chords because there are infinite number of points on the circle. Okay, so whenever you take any point, suppose I have taken this point Q and I am joining this is also a chord of the circle. Okay, if suppose I am taking point S here, this is also chord of the circle. Okay, so in this way you can have infinite number of chords of a circle. In the similar way, you can have infinite diameters. Okay, suppose I am taking here point T and I am joining with S, then I have one diameter ST. Okay, next is I am taking point, suppose I am taking M, I am taking N, and again I am joining it through the center. Again I am getting a diameter. Okay, let's take another point. I am taking P1 and I am taking P2. I am joining them through the center. Again it is a diameter. So you can have infinite diameter and you can have infinite chord. The only difference is that the chord which is passing through the center is the diameter and the chord which is not passing through the center is the chord of the circle. Okay, I hope you have understood the introductory part, and if you have any doubt regarding the introductory part of the circle, you can ask me in your comment section. And if you like my video, please share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.